All right, let's do this thing called a Monday. Hello, people. Wake up. If you're not up, God bless you if you're still sleeping. I don't know what kind of job you have. 3:04 on this rainy Monday afternoon. Thanks so much for joining us. We have a show for you. Before I get to all of that, Ben, how was the drive in today? Because I know that, you come in pretty much sideways sometimes.
Oh, no, it wasn't bad at all.
It wasn't bad because we had a little bit of rain showers maybe.
Oh, no, all that was done.
All that was done. Okay, I took the DART again today, and I like to kind of give my daily DART update. And if DART is listening right now, I would love, like a week pass on this thing. I would love an annual pass. Maybe a sponsor for the show, right? I'm not too proud to beg for something like that. But once again, DART delivers. If you want to avoid the traffic, you want to avoid all the idiots on the road, you want to just have a little bit of peace of mind, jump on the DART. I jump on at Parker Road and I get off at Beltline, I Uber here. Or sometimes I walk. I don't mind walking. One day I rode a Lime bike. I swear to you, I wish I would have had this all on camera. It was pretty funny. I got a bunch of people honking at me, but I didn't care because I was enjoying myself. But anyway, jump on the DART. It's effective. It's cost effective rather, and you can have some fun. And that's my shout out to DART. Lots going on in the news. We'll get into this real quickly. How the Supreme Court ruled 7-2 on this Colorado baker who refused to bake a cake to celebrate the marriage of a same-sex couple because of religious objection. And this is something that's been in the news for quite some time, and it's kind of a landmark decision here. I'm not sure if it's going to pave the way for additional judgments in that direction. And I've been pretty vocal on this show that if you, and I support gay rights. I absolutely support all the gay rights that they are seeking and everything that they believe in. I have a ton of gay friends and I support them. But here's the deal. If I go to a baker and he doesn't want to bake my cake, I might just give him a special wave as I walk out the door and go to the next baker. So instead of suing everybody, forcing them to do what you want to do, just find another baker. That's all you got to do. Find another baker. So that's pretty much what this comes down to, is they're going to find another baker. And if they have the right to, choose who they want to serve or whatever, that's their business. And I'm sure there's plenty of bakers out there. I'd bake them a cake. If it's a Duncan Hines, I'll put the little mix in a cup and I'll put it in the microwave for 2.5 minutes and boom, you got a cake. That's the way I do it. I want to bring in one guest at a time, Sarah Strackhouse, Real News Communication Network, Real News PR. And I'm thrilled when I got the message that you were coming in to do some video work with a guest we'll introduce here in just a second. Mm-hmm. I was thrilled because usually first time you've been in the studio with me.
I know, it's so cool. I came in and it's very impressive when
you
walk
this?
in. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Nice little studio, right?
It is.
I just wish I had a window view. I have to kind of look out the window and go to the left to see daylight. And I just got the brand new TV put up in here. I got a monitor.
Oh yeah,
it's
it looks
not
great.
Hooked up the cable or anything like that, but I just get to look at my logo all day.
The branding, I mean, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, it does connect to YouTube, so I guess I could put that on.
There you go.
I'm glad you're here.
I'm so happy to be here.
And I want to learn more about your story because you came from the same field I was. You were a journalist. You were in television.
Yep.
And you've seen the industry change.
I really have, and I always kind of say this. I got in the back door, and I know that sounds kind of weird, but I studied graphic design in school. And so I started doing graphic design for Fox Business, and I was a photog for New York One in Manhattan. So that's kind of how I got my entry into it. And then my husband was in West Texas, so I eventually took a reporter job down there, and that was my first on air.
Which station was that, by the way?
CBS.
CBS.
Yeah,
okay.
CBS 7. Yeah, that was my
CBS
first.
7.
My group, I loved them. Yeah. They were awesome.
When you want news that works for you.
Oh yeah. With your eye on West Texas.
Oh, is that what it was? With your eye on West Texas? Yeah. Don't you love those little sayings?
I really do.
Yeah.
And I was the energy reporter, oil and gas. That was my beat at your eye on energy.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so you saw that industry sway quite a bit.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We came during the boom, the oil boom when we moved down there. And then during the bust, we were actually really lucky. My husband got relocated here to Dallas. So then we came here, and we got very lucky that we didn't get sucked into the bust too badly.
Yeah. And also, you worked for the station here.
Yeah.
CW,
I worked up in Denison as a morning anchor,
Okay.
and then down here at CW.
I love that market up there.
It's a really nice market.
love it.
Nice people.
Because
Yeah.
think about this: from my house in McKinney, I
Yeah.
can get to Denison quicker than I can get to Dallas.
Well, it was funny. I live in Plano, so I was
Okay.
driving up there. I was the morning anchor, so I had to leave my house around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone was like, "Oh, that's so tough," and I'm like, "Yeah, but I don't have traffic."
No, we just have miles.
Yeah,
I
just
can do
mi-
miles
yeah,
all day.
you know.
When I worked in Houston, I was living about 91 miles from door to door
Mhm.
because I lived outside Houston. So I was literally driving 91 miles, but it was just miles. It wasn't
Yeah.
traffic.
No,
Big difference.
Exactly, and it's really not bad if you're just going straight. You're kind of just cruising.
Listen to
No.
some music.
Yeah, it wasn't
On a
bad.
Friday, I would get a cigar,
Yeah.
2-story, crack the sunroof, blow down some windows, and smoke the cigar
Yeah.
as I go home. And that was a good life. Okay,
Yeah.
we have a guest in there, a Dora Spectacular. And hello.
Hello, Brian Spectacular and
Oh.
Sarah Spectacular. Y'all are so spectacular,
love
really.
I know I can't. This is going to
I'm
be.
not the only spectacular one here.
I know. When I got the memo that you were coming on the show, I was already familiar with you because
that?
I discovered you on Instagram.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And-
So, yes.
So I just discovered it on Instagram, and I was like, "Oh, what is she all about?" So I was social media stalking you.
Oh, okay. Well, I welcome that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well, we're glad you're here, and you brought me something in a bag. We were gonna get into it
Yeah.
earlier.
yeah,
Do you
this
want to
is-
save that for the next?
Oh,
segment?
no. It's just a little something for, because you've been nominated to be in the Dora Spectacular Hall of Fame.
Ooh, that's a big honor.
I spent
wow.
a lot of time looking for them. Ha ha.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness, Sarah! I cannot wait to reveal what's. Actually, I'm going to save this for the next segment. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm going to do a
All right.
Facebook
On the edge
Live
of my
on this.
seat.
Yes, I'm going to do a Facebook Live with this. Thank you so much.
And Sarah, I'll give you your pair next week.
Oh, you're so
I gave it
sweet.
away.
Oh no!
Oh my gosh, you're so sweet.
But I'm so glad you're here, and
Thank you.
and I think what you do kind of falls in all of our wheelhouses. We have kind of a common bond here. You cover something you're very passionate about, and that's fashion and style.
Yes, and I love to do events. I love to talk to people, and I love for people to laugh. So we always do a little laughter therapy during the interviews.
How important is laughter in our lives?
So important. So important. I think if we could laugh at least 10 times a day, I think we probably wouldn't have as many diseases. Like you have to laugh
No.
at yourself,
I believe that.
and it's hard to laugh at yourself sometimes. But just having something to laugh at, I think it's just so good for, our outlook, our soul. And, I used to take everything so seriously, and I'm really learning that the way to be is to not take things so seriously.
I would agree with you on that too.
Mhm.
And I just yesterday in a Bible study, we started talking about mental health and depression, anxiety, and all the things that people deal with in life.
Mhm.
And a part of solving all of that is laughter, is bringing joy into your life and not get caught up in the world's problems and all the politics of the world. And believe me, I've tried to push back a little bit from that and focus on just what makes you happy. And we talked, Sarah and I talked before the show.
Yeah.
We all talked.
Yeah.
Doing this makes me happy.
Yes.
Like
and you
I don't go to a place that sucks every day.
No.
Oh my gosh, you do this very well, Brian.
Well, I appreciate
I'm
that.
having so much fun just listening to you. It's like I got to just listen to you.
Okay, you can do that. I'm 1 till 5. No, but I think it's very important. I think it's very important to do what you love, and
Yes.
obviously that's what you do.
Yes, thank you. Well, it didn't come about because I was planning to interview people, and it's a new effort. It just came about. Someone asked me. I was asked by a group called Fashion Scoop to interview at the Night of Stars event. That was in 2015. It's an enormous fashion event here in Dallas. I'd never interviewed in my life before, and these were all my peers. And also I had a wacky character, so I kind of
I love it.
toned down the wackiness a little bit.
Have you?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've toned it
Oh, I-
down because I used to really do it full blast.
Oh, I can't wait to get into that in the next segment.
Okay.
Of course, Sarah, you're very passionate in what you do, and you're very good at what you do. Before I even met you
you.
in person, I discovered you. Why are we discovering everybody on social media? I'm like, who's this Sarah Strachan?
Well, CW33 was all big on social media
Yes, they
when we
are.
were reported there. I mean, they had a big presence there, so they were.
Which is great. I mean,
Yeah,
everyone else
they're wonderful.
focused on maybe going a different direction. They were like,
Yeah.
no, people are getting their information on their phones
Yep.
and their tablets, everything else. So All right, I can't wait to find out your story and find out how you got started.
I'm so
and
curious.
yeah, I can't wait. And then of course Sarah is going to sit in with the whole show. I'm so happy you're here. I really am. And we
Thank
want to
you,
hear from
Sarah.
you.
Yeah,
If you
please.
have a
Thank you for
question
having
for
me.
any one of us, you could just message me on Facebook at Brian Glenn TV or go to Facebook /Dora. Right?
Oh, Dora Spectacular.
Yes. Can they find you there?
Yes, they can find me on Dora Spectacular or
Instagram.
Dora.
maybe?
Yes, Dora Spectacular on Instagram too.
Because social media has changed everything, and we'll talk about it. It's changed your news, the way your content, way you get your news. Plus, it's changed entertainment. It's given platforms of people like yourself now that, which 10 years ago, there was no platform for you. There was no platform for me.
Mm-hmm. You had to be on a show,
You had to go
right?
give your resume to a studio, to a station, and beg them to give you 2 minutes on the air.
Yeah.
Now you've got all these wonderful technologies. You can do it yourself. We'll do all of that. We got to take a break. We got to pay some bills. That's how we do it here. We got to pay some bills for some advertisers. 3:15 on this Monday. Yes, I love my advertisers.
Yeah.
3:15 on this Monday. And as always, you can go to our website, 620 AM KEXP, for more information on this show and other shows in this fine Salem Radio Network. A few minutes. We'll come right back to listen to 620 AM. See ya. Well, welcome back. 3:20 on this Monday afternoon. Hello. It's time to talk fashion. It's time to talk media. And find out the stories behind the people. Our guests, Dora Spectacular, here in the studio, and Sarah Struckhouse.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, before the break, I was asking you. You have not always covered fashion. You haven't always been a fashion guru, have you?
No, I haven't. And I think it just started back when I was not a very good actor, so I was starving, and I had to dress myself. So I would scrounge around at all the thrift stores, the Buffalo Exchange. And
I love Buffalo Exchange, by the way.
Too. Oh my gosh,
Which is
I've
the
been going
best
there.
Buffalo Exchange that you've been to?
Well, I've only been to one.
Really?
Here in Dallas.
The one in Austin is sick.
Oh, I know. Well, they get a lot of designer pieces
Oh, well.
because people down there are more boho. They're not
Yeah,
into designer.
absolutely.
But here, it's like the designer.
Yeah.
piece. But they haven't been getting as many lately.
Maybe because there's more people in that space. Think about it. There's what's the other?
I love Plato's Closet.
There you go.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah.
You find good things?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. A lot of great random pieces that you kind of don't expect. You're like, oh, that's so cool. Why would someone give this away?
One person's junk is another person's.
There you go.
Yep.
And that's what's so fun about it.
So you were getting into stuff like that, trying
Yeah.
to piece together wardrobes, right?
Yes, and people complimented me more on my outfits than they did on my audition.
You've got a very interesting outfit. I want to show everybody on Facebook Live.
Oh,
If you
okay.
could,
All right.
raise the microphone and stand up. I really want to get this on camera.
I threw this together. You're so kind.
You threw this together.
Yeah.
Okay, so describe describe your first. You got this long sleeve, kind of a white lace top, right? Raise that microphone up if you could, right there in front of you. I just want to make sure that everybody can hear you.
All right.
All right.
So what do you want me to tell everybody?
Well,
about?
let's just describe what you got.
Okay. So tulle is my favorite thing in the whole world. I was telling a friend that I have bags of tulle all over my place, like tulle skirts, tulle dresses.
Okay.
And so when you have a tulle skirt, you can mix it with anything, a T-shirt or, a pretty blouse to go out with. And then I've got these sneaker combat boots,
Yeah,
which I live in, by the way.
they look
So
very rock and
comfortable.
rollish, by the
Oh,
way.
thank you. I never meant to wear them as much as I have, but they're so comfortable. I mean, I've traveled in them, and they're like fabulous. And so this I got resale, and this I got resale. But I just love putting things together. And then this I got at Bina's Buttons, and I added a brooch. So it's just having fun and mixing things together.
Well, so you wanted to be an actress? Was that
That
the
was
original?
a long time ago, and I wasn't very good because I was kind of a mess.
You were kind of a mess.
Yeah, I was a mess.
And a mess. So
Yeah,
that,
I was a big mess.
Like-
Yeah.
like you didn't know where you were going to go. You were like all over the place.
Well, I think I was just really mixed up within myself
Okay.
about who I was, and I was not a very happy person. I'll just be honest, I had kind of a rough time growing up. I had 2 scientists for parents, and
Oh,
my
my.
dad could be very hard on us, and especially me. So I went through a period where I just kind of like rebelled, and when I went to college, I was wild. And
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
None of us
College.
get wild in college.
Never.
No, Sarah, you wouldn't get wild in college.
No, Sarah
No, no.
has always been so sweet. Perfect.
Oh, I wish.
Like this, Ryan.
Tell my mom that.
Yeah, your mom's.
Mom.
So I can imagine having scientists as parents. Think about
Yeah.
that, Sarah.
Oh, yeah,
Because
a lot
you're
of pressure.
Yeah.
It's black or white. There's
yeah.
no in between.
No.
Yes,
Nothing.
and they were from China. They came over on the boat. They met in Pittsburgh, and so I've spent a lot of time just kind of working on me and finding me. So when I was an actor, I was like not in a good place.
Okay.
But and it was hard because so many people really wanted me to succeed and everything that I really learned a lot. And when I got out of it, I learned that I know this sounds kind of funny, but I learned it's what God says about me.
Mhm.
It's most important.
Mhm.
That we're fearfully, wonderfully made,
Mhm.
and that He really, cared about me and who I was. So this wacky person that could never come out of me when I was an actor comes out in my character.
Love it.
I've got to tell you, so when I was an actor, I did this scene once in a showcase where I played this crazy girl who hid her clothes in the microwave at a guy's house so she wouldn't have to leave. And that's really a part of me. I'm so wacky and weird.
Have you ever,
Wonderfully.
It's
Wonderfully
just
wacky.
have you
crazy
ever
world.
hid
Yeah.
clothes in a microwave?
I
Yeah.
can't say that I have, but I'm sure I've done some other quirky stuff. I'll just have to think on that.
Her name was Theta.
Yeah. Okay. So and so how did you transition into like what you're doing now? I mean, this is amazing.
Well, I had a wonderful friend and mentor, Paul Ninus. He was a big hair celebrity, and we were going to do a makeover show. So it was just in working on doing makeovers and things like that it was just fun to wear my glasses.
Yeah. Let's get your mic just a little bit closer to you. I want to make
Okay.
sure people. Can
It was fun to just have fun, and I love my signature because people just got joy out of that, and I discovered that bringing joy meant a lot more than anything. So my character's kind of built around people having fun and us getting to something that matters.
right.
So that's
Yeah.
why.
Dora Spectacular is our guest. You can have a seat. That's good. I didn't mean to put you on the spot like that. Sarah Strackhouse is our guest as well. We're
Hello.
talking about fashion. We're talking about fun and the entertainment industry. Because take me back when you first started. There was no social media, right? So if a character like yourself, you had no other outlet.
Well, actually, when I started, this is kind of a new effort. So when I really started was just a couple years ago, and I'm really excited about like just the people that I've met on Facebook through doing things,
Right.
and also having you stalk me on Instagram
Mhm.
has been a real high
I
point of my
apologize for
life.
that. I stalked you too, Sarah. So.
I'm flattered.
I mean, I was like,
I'm gonna
like.
start-
Like.
Okay. Oh.
Now, let me ask you a question. When someone likes your photos that much, if I go on a tear and like 10 photos, does that get your attention?
Absolutely. But it's only like, it might seem a little like, oh, why is this person liking me so much? But if it's you, like a name or like someone that I kind of
Like, you know, those
recognize.
psycho-
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly. I know you're, not off your rocker.
Okay, well, most of the time.
So I'm like, oh, that's great.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We're gonna kind of find out what you're doing now. The website is Dora Spectacular, right?
Yes,
.com. But you prefer people to follow you on Instagram.
I love Instagram. To
Okay.
me, that's like the funnest and the easiest.
Let's talk about, Sarah, and also we'll
Yeah.
come back, how Instagram has changed. I think it's
Everything.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't even, granted, I'm on Facebook Live right now, granted, but I prefer all my content to be on Instagram.
I only joined a couple years ago or like a year and a half ago. And so I was new to this and everyone kept being like, post more pictures. And I was like, well, I do it on Facebook. And you're like, nope, you have to do it on Instagram now.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
How do you
Yeah.
like it?
I love it now.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We will take a break. We'll come back. And always, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook at Brian Glenn TV. Send me a message if you got a question for Sarah or Dora. Spectacular. I got to get this whole wave down. Give us a few minutes. We'll come right back. To the show. Sarah Strackhouse, journalist, TV personality, really camera operator. You're just like I. We got the same bag of tools that we carry around. I love it. I wouldn't
got
wanna
your
do
hand in
anything
everything
else.
a little bit.
Absolutely. And Dora Spectacular, TV personality, fashion correspondent, some celebrity.
Oh.
What else can I throw out there? Because you've really defined yourself, and you've created a niche for yourself.
Okay. Crazy woman.
Okay, that wasn't on my list, but I can put it on there. That's fine.
It's good to have a little bit of crazy.
Yeah,
I think it's
I think
always
we
good.
all have
Wacky
a little bit
woman.
of craziness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk fashion.
Awesome.
Do you what type of fashion that you like? I mean, are you inspired by any particular style or culture or designer? Like, where do you kind of get your own fashion from?
Okay. Well, I adore 2 designers.
Okay.
And I find myself like just picking a lot of what they have. But fashion is it's crucial to me for people. And I used to style women, and I have seen women literally become a different person when they would put on a dress that I told them to. And I would tell them to put it on. Like sometimes people don't want to try something, and you would say, okay, put this on. And they would put it on and be so excited. Just the fact that people can feel different about themselves. And I'm not saying that's where we get how we feel good about ourselves. That has to come from within us. But fashion can help bring that out.
It enhances it.
And it can enhance it. And if you are at a period of your life where you're wanting to grow and, become maybe that person that you've always dreamed of becoming or reach your potential, well, fashion can help put you there because you'll put an outfit on and maybe it costs a little more than you wanted to spend, or maybe you went to a little bit more trouble to get it, but it can give you a return. It can give you a return on just maybe a new opportunity, maybe just the way you feel about yourself.
Just the way you feel about yourself.
Yeah.
We were talking
Yeah.
about some self-esteem that a lot of middle schoolers and high schools get, and there's a lot of bullying going on based upon what you wear or what you don't wear, if your hair's straight, if your hair's, the goofiest things what kids get teased. But I'm with you on that. Like if you feel like you look nice,
Yes.
it just does something to your self-esteem and your confidence.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think someone explained it to me one time is a lot of people, if you have pride and self-confidence within, a lot of people want to portray it on the outside as well and have pride in your appearance and your health and just kind of all around. And it also helps you, when you feel like you look good, it helps you feel better.
Yes.
I think it all kind of goes together. And I don't think it has to be a vain thing
No,
at
it's
all.
no, it's not
Yeah.
about that at all. It's a healthy self-esteem.
Right. A healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's true too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Eating right, which is what we all try to.
Yeah, we were talking about that when I
Oh
saw
yeah,
you
we sure.
last week,
Yeah.
Brian.
It was,
Yeah. Were you on the football? Were you on the captain of the football team?
I
when you were in
was.
high school? I knew it.
Okay.
I know.
I
You kind of, you're telling me how you work out, and you
Well,
you
it's
look
funny.
like it.
Well, I try, and as you get older, you're my I have a lot of energy, but not when it comes to go to the gym. That's
Yeah.
like a mental
Okay.
thing. It's
Oh.
like I don't
Yeah.
really want to go, but I need to go.
Well, you kind of struck me when I met you as a combination of, a little Brad Pitt. Well, maybe a lot of Brad Pitt, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I'll
and
take
Popeye.
every one of them. Keep it
Oh
going.
yeah.
and
Oh my
Popeye.
gosh, this is a wonderful.
Popeye.
Popeye, he's a cartoon
I
character.
He's got character though.
He's got self-esteem.
more-
He's got
yeah,
self-esteem.
He's got self-esteem.
He's confident.
He's got he dresses well.
Yes, he does. I like that.
I like him in his whites.
I'll take that.
It's a good combo.
Yeah. So, I don't even know where to go with that. Popeye and everything else. But self-esteem is a big thing. So fashion is a big thing. And I know that
Yes.
they've had events where they take women they come from the shelters and stuff and give them a new outfit
Yes,
to go get
a
jobs.
makeover. Oh yes, and I've done makeovers before. Paul and I have done them, and it's incredible. You will not believe this, but one time we made this woman over, and she called me that night and said, "Dora, my husband is freaking out because he didn't know what to think now that his wife was gorgeous." He was
I know what to think.
he was
Yeah.
a little intimidated.
Good for me.
He was good at freaking out, and
Yeah.
so you can get into something a little bit surprising, but I'm obsessed, and I'm always cruising certain websites for my favorite designers, and I like to get deals. It's really fun. I hate paying full price.
Isn't it the worst? That's what the
Yeah.
thing, though.
Yeah.
Except I pay double on cars. The last 2 cars I bought, I think they probably when I drove off the lot, they were laughing. Like, that guy's a sucker. Everything else, though, I try to buy
For a deal. But
For
a
a
car is
deal. Yeah.
really important to you. It
Yeah,
makes you
no,
feel
it's
good.
because it's emotional. It's an
Yeah,
emotional
yeah.
impulse.
It's almost like a great jacket for you because it's like an extension.
It's
of
funny you
yourself.
say that.
Yes.
The best jacket I have, and I wish
Yeah.
I would have wore it today,
Okay.
just to bring it in.
Is it red?
No, it's black.
Oh,
I'll try to
okay.
one of my favorite one of my favorite rock bands was auctioning off
Mhm.
some of their tour stuff to go for charity, right? Before
Yeah.
because the tour was over, they were
Oh.
auctioning off all their stuff. And so I'm sitting at work. This is like 8 years ago. I'm sitting at my desk in the newsroom, and I'm looking at this auction. I was like, oh, I kind of like that. It's Jacoby from Papa Roach, right?
Yeah.
I kind of like this jacket. So I bid on it and checked back 10 minutes later, and somebody outbid me. And I thought, oh, that's kind of fun. So it got into kind of like you know what?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to buy this jacket.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's
And
going to happen.
It's going to happen. And so I ended up paying I $1,500 or something like that. Way too much than I wanted to spend, but it is the best jacket. It was from a designer in West Hollywood, and it is a one of a kind. It's military inspired. So
Oh my
the angles
gosh.
on it are just
Very
it's
cool.
very patches. It's got
Yeah.
instead of
Ooh.
buttons, it's little skulls. And they're
Oh
all
my god.
hand sewn. Incredible. And every time I would wear it,
Yeah.
I'd have somebody say, "Oh my goodness, I've got to. Where do you find that jacket? I'll buy it from you." And I thought,
Right.
but it's when you said jacket, it's one of those things that you just buy. You only wear it out on certain occasions,
Right.
Yep.
You know. But
And
yeah,
you're going to always have it.
I'm always going to have it.
Yeah.
And it's the only thing. It's the only thing in my closet that actually has a dry cleaning bag over it. Everything else is exposed to the air, the dust, or whatever. That thing is covered up.
I'm like that with shoes.
With shoes,
Oh yeah, I am a huge shoe fiend. Like I like sneakers, heels, boots, everything. Like I will spend a lot of money on that.
no, but it comes with workout shoes. Are you?
Oh yeah, I have like a workout shoe like for running, cross training, lifting. Like yeah.
Okay, you're that serious.
Okay, what
I-
who's your favorite shoe designer for workout?
So New Balance is my absolute favorite, but I struggle with their styles. So unfortunately, I'm a little vain in the shoe department. So
Would
Nike.
you agree with that? By the way, 'cause their style, there is no style. It's just
with New
function,
Balance,
right?
it's very functional, and they truly are like my favorite. You know, I've never had knee problems with them, back problems with New Balance. I mean, New Balance is truly the what I've found for that works for my foot, my body. That's been wonderful for me. But Nikes look better.
Nike's do look better.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's a struggle.
It is a struggle.
Okay, what about for dress?
For dress, I mean, it depends. I mean, I love Michael Kors is kind of always my go-to. I love Burberry boots are my and they're actually rain boots technically.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
Sarah, these are gorgeous.
Thank you. They were like a Santa gift, like 10 years ago or something, and they're just Old Faithful, yeah.
Wow. They
But
look like authentic rain boots.
yeah, exactly. Well, and I love something that's very cute, but also very functional. You know, my mom got me a couple Chinese laundry boots, and they're all rain boots, but they look cute. You know, so I love that kind of mix.
I
So
love
yeah, yeah.
I'm just sitting back right now, Instagramming, and I'm posting something up like Sarah and Dora talking about fashion boots because that's where the show's gone.
Well,
It's fashion.
actually, because Sarah loves shoes, when you think about it, when you're walking into a room, it's your shoe that readily enters first.
Yeah.
So you're putting your
Oh.
best foot forward,
Stop it.
right?
That is great.
Stop it.
Or best boot.
Yes, best boot
Best
forward.
boot
There you
forward.
go. I love
There
that.
you
Well, I would agree with you on that. That
Yeah.
shoes,
I
you
mean,
like
everyone has
shoes?
their
I
vice, right?
I do love shoes.
Yeah.
I do love shoes. I love clothes in general,
Mhm.
but today I'm going to show you something real quick, and I'm a little embarrassed to point this out. Okay, see this right here on this T-shirt? All right, that's
Yes.
toothpaste. Okay,
Oh,
that's
okay.
toothpaste. So I actually got toothpaste on it,
Oh.
and then see
It
this.
added character.
It adds character. Then
Yeah.
I'll stand up,
Okay.
and let's get the camera on here, Sarah.
All
See
right.
this right here?
Uh,
That is a Kind bar. Because I was eating it on the dart and it fell on my jeans, and I went to get it away and I smeared it.
Of course.
So I actually have on me right now a toothpaste stained shirt and chocolate stained jeans.
Wow.
I'm
You
just
look-
like,
Okay, so I can only imagine when you were telling us that in your closet you only have one item that's covered. So is
Mhm.
everything else covered with Kind bars?
yes, it is, and dust mites. Everything else on it.
That's why I can't wear white. Yeah, I always spill on myself.
I mean,
Yeah.
every single time.
Oh, my gosh,
Remember the
yeah.
Lorenzo Hotel?
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
were shooting. I
Yep.
spilled
Yeah.
something on
Oh,
these
you know what?
same
It's
exact jeans that day.
unavoidable. It's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
It's unavoidable.
I feel like I need to walk around with a human bib at all times.
I know. Me too.
And a fashion
I
bib.
I find stains on my pieces too, and I'm like, okay, how did that happen?
Yeah, but you've got
You
these really
know?
delicate things. I mean, that's a lot difficult to wash.
well,
and
I-
just,
Yeah, well, I'll be extra careful if I'm eating in this, but I can be a real slob. Like
Yeah.
you haven't seen me in my real life.
yeah.
Like home eating.
Well,
I dressed up for today for you, Brian.
but I
and
want
for you,
to.
Sarah.
Well, you're sweet.
And for Ryan. Yeah.
I want to take a break, come back. I want to get into your famous laugh that you've ignited people and you
Aw.
put people in such a good mood,
Thank
and
you.
it's contagious. And maybe you can teach us how to do that.
Yes, I'd love to do that.
I would
with
love to
Sarah.
try to do that.
Let's do it.
We'll do that after the break, and guys, stick around. And plus, we'll talk a little bit more about the media and how the news cycle has changed, and people like Sarah, myself, can go kill it without you don't have to wait around for the big guys. You can get it from us. All right, we'll do all that in a few minutes on this Monday edition of the Minute. Little rock and roll on this Monday, little Scorpions. You listen to 620, the rock of Earth. I've never wanted to work at a rock station. It's just, even though it's so me,
Yeah.
but I've never had that desire. I prefer talk radio.
I could see you working at a rock station for sure.
I can see it,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
but I prefer I prefer
to chat.
conversations. Yes,
Yeah.
That's the great thing about talk radio versus the world that Sarah and I came from with television. Is we had about 90 seconds to pretty much tell everybody what you want to tell them, and it's like, oh god,
Yeah. It's so difficult telling someone's story in a small little snippet. I had so many issues. I remember at CW here in Dallas, I would always, give my producer a 2.5 minute story, and he was like, "You need to cut this down to like 1:15." I just can't do that.
And I would, when I first was told that as well.
Yeah.
I'd say, who sets the standards on
Right.
that? Well, this is just what it always says in broadcasting school. Well, you know what? Your broadcasting school sucks because this is a whole new era. And I'm like, just because you've done it for 50 years doesn't mean you need to do it for another 50 years. Like, let's change it up. No, we've got to keep doing the same thing that everyone's done for 50 years. Oh, it would drive me nuts, Sarah. It would drive me nuts. So we have till 5 o'clock to talk about whatever we want.
Awesome.
I love that.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, I want to talk about, you gave me a gift.
Yes.
Or
you gave me a
earlier.
gift. Yes.
I walked in. You were like, "Hey," you gave me a big hug. I'm a hugger.
Yeah.
You know that.
Mhm.
We hugged, and you gave me a nice little gift. And so,
Now you can give me a car.
I'll give you
I
a
want
house.
a card
I have a
return.
history
You
giving
just
houses
got some
too.
new cars.
Houses and
You
houses.
give
What else do
houses?
want?
I want that
Hold on.
jacket. I want that jacket.
I have a history of doing that.
Sarah, if I'd known you were here, I would have brought you.
Oh
That's
my
okay,
goodness,
Machine
you are
Gun.
so
Okay,
sweet.
so
It's okay.
I've got a pair of glasses.
Yeah.
They're
Look at these.
so
Oh.
awesome.
All right.
Oh my goodness.
Now give
Now
me.
you're spectacular.
Now tell me, is it the black? Is it the shape? What is it about these sunglasses that you like?
Well, they just look kind of like manly, like you.
Oh, I like that. I usually
You can pop the tinted lenses out if you want
what?
to have the look too. But you like having. You
I
look
love
like
these.
Mr. Cole.
I
Do you
think they're
really?
really cool. I love
Oh,
them.
thank you.
I
it's
love
for
'em.
being so spectacular.
Oh, I appreciate it. It's
Okay.
because it's all about the look, right?
Yeah, it's all about the look.
It's all about the look,
Yeah.
and of course, you want to protect your eyes in the summertime.
Yes, of course.
There you go.
Will you wear them?
I'm going to wear them the rest of the show.
Oh, thank you.
And
the
I'll-
rest of the show.
Yes,
what
that's
about when you
amazing.
go out to your
No,
car?
of course I will. Of course I will.
I'm gonna stalk you and see if you're
Well,
wearing them.
I'm going to wear. I promise you, I'm going to wear them.
Okay.
Let's talk about your glasses though, because your
Okay.
glasses are very different.
Oh, thanks. I have a collection. They're from all over. I've got like 20 pairs. These are actually from the Buffalo.
From what?
The Buffalo.
Oh,
Exchange.
okay.
I've got so many pairs, and I think I have maybe 10 pairs from the Buffalo. But I really like them. I like the white, and they're really fun. And so when I'm Dora Spectacular, I have to have my glasses.
Okay.
Like I can do without my gloves, but I need my glasses.
Well, let's talk about Dora Spectacular. Let's. Well, this is the whole build up. We've got about 6 minutes left. How did you come up with that? How did you come up with that character?
She just kind of evolved. She's this. She's my zany alter ego, and she loves to have fun. She loves to be a little outrageous. Like I just interviewed the Sklar brothers and a few other celebrities for the Poop Talk movie, and she was outrageous. Talking about things that we don't normally talk about. But Dora Spectacular loves it when people have a great time.
So it's all about having fun.
It's all about having fun, but also getting to the heart of the matter. And recently she met herself on a self-interview, and that's on my Instagram, or part of it is. So, but Dora Spectacular is a work in progress too, just like we all are.
We're all
So
a work
I hope
in progress,
she
right?
continues to grow and become even more spectacular.
But she has a famous laugh.
Yes.
And
Do you want to do it?
Yeah, I really want to. I want to.
Okay.
I want you to try it,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try it at the same time. So let's go ahead and do your
Okay.
famous laugh real
All right.
quick.
Well,
I'm excited.
can y'all do it with me?
Yeah, let's all do it together.
I want to hear.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I've heard it before, but I've never truly heard it like right here in the
Okay. Well, we're building up to the laugh.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys, do you want to repeat after me?
Okay.
Okay. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Ha ha ha.
Ha ha.
Wait,
Oh,
what just came out?
we
That
laughed.
was a little fun extra.
That's amazing.
That is funny.
Brian, stop
That is
it.
funny.
Okay,
is
I
funny.
couldn't stop that. I couldn't help it.
That reminds me of like when I was a kid.
Yep.
That's exactly what that is.
I was gonna say that was like my brother's favorite Christmas gift ever.
Okay.
Yep.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
You've been exposed to it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It
So
was
you
fun.
can easily
Yeah.
take that to cocktail parties.
Oh, I tell
events when it's real quiet.
Put it in the
Take whenever
corner.
I
Oh,
wanna
that would be
impress-
so funny.
Just break that out.
When you want to impress somebody, you just give out your best, part.
I agree. But it's all about the laughter.
Yes, it's about the laughter, and it's about people feeling good about who they are. That's really the focus, is for people to feel good about who they are, because inside all of us is a treasure, and it's how we're made.
And
I
it's
love
about,
that.
and I think it's also about inspiring other people to be their best. When they see
Exactly. Yeah.
they think,
yeah.
"Oh, what?
Oh,
I can do it too." Like
well, Brian, you're inspiring me.
oh come on.
Just our chat, even before we came on the air, and you were talking about your you're very original,
Well-
and you stand up for yourself, and you don't care about pleasing people, which is incredible.
I want to make people happy, but at the same time, I respect who I am and I respect people's expectations. So I think with any job, you need to make sure you meet the expectations that they have. But
Well, what do you think are people's expectations of you?
I'm not sure. Well, I think in what I do, I'd like to think that I try to tell a story. I give a platform for people that may not have a platform anywhere, right? I don't know. I try to be a voice. I try to be the voice for sometimes the little guy. When this ministry came through here and they were just trying to kind of learn a little bit about what's radio, what's radio like in the U.S. They were from Uganda, and so I basically said, "Come on in the studio. I want to learn more about you." And so that's what got me into the African ministry. But I don't know. I don't. That's a great question. I don't know what people's expectations are of me.
Okay, but you do get a lot of your fulfillment from helping other people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's crucial.
Absolutely. We had
Yeah.
I had a conversation last night, and maybe we should get into this since 4:00 hour about suicide and depression. And I said, "Hey,
Yes.
I suffer from depression. I'm the most optimistic person I know, but I'm also the most depressed person I know. And have I had suicide thoughts? Yeah, all the time, all the time. But there's a big difference here. But I know that Jesus Christ is my Lord and Savior, and He will
Amen.
not let me down.
Yeah.
And it's like every time I have a dark thought,
Yeah.
He literally says, "Really, really,
Really?
And I just go, "Yeah,
Right,
you're right."
right.
And I kind of move on.
Yeah.
But a lot of people in life don't have that voice to tell them that.
Right.
So they go down and they
Safety
go
blanket.
down and they go down.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
They have nothing to pick them up.
Yes.
Because I think we all, in a certain degree,
We could all spiral down.
we could all spiral
I
down.
mean,
Easily.
we're like, so all of us we're all human beings, and we all have that capacity to spiral down.
Absolutely. I love this conversation. We got to take a break. On the other side of the hour, we'll probably more about that, because I really think your Dora Spectacular is not done yet.
Oh.
I don't
She's
think it's
not?
done.
Oh,
I think
thank
it's
you.
just began.
Oh, thank
I really
you.
have.
Thank you.
I think it has.
Brian.
You're going to change some lives. You just don't know yet. We're going to talk about the latest thing at Starbucks as well. I'm all in on this. I'll find out the girls are as well. We'll come right back. Okay, let's do this thing. 4:04 on this Monday afternoon. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Hopefully the rain has stayed away. For an afternoon commute. I took the DART today, ladies. That was Let me ask you a question. Random poll here.
Okay.
Have you taken the DART?
Yes, I have.
Have you taken the DART?
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, so we
Well,
all.
I told you we were like 3 hours late to State Fair after we did
I'm not sure if that's the DART's fault.
I only took it once.
Or-
It was for a half marathon.
Oh,
Yeah, so that was the only reason I took it because we
You
weren't
took-
parking.
now that's it. Oh,
Yeah.
because the parking was.
Yeah. So
I took it for State Fair. I took it for the State Fair one day,
Yeah.
and then I took it for the St. Patrick's Day parade off Lower Greenfield.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh,
very
and it's
Very smart.
good people watching.
Oh yeah.
Because you know
I'm
who
sure.
takes the parades? Drunk people take the parade. Take the.
I live
this
real
time.
close to Greenville Avenue.
So you know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was really funny because all these guys were sitting on the train, and every time a girl would walk on, they would just start applauding, and they'd start, woo! And she walks down the aisle, and it was like, what is it? And my kids like looked at me like, Dad, what have you gotten?
What
right
is
here?
going
Like,
on?
What are you doing to us here? But thanks to DART for getting me here safely today. Dora Spectacular is in the studio. I know, I love it, and I did that
And
pretty
Sarah,
good actually.
You do.
By the
Like,
way,
you did it great.
I know that was
You
a pretty
need
good
to
one.
sing it to your auto.
I know.
Oh,
Like that. Yeah, there you go.
And Sarah, yeah, we'll work on it. And then Sarah Strackhouse, TV personality, video
Happy to be
journalist extraordinaire, is with us in the studios as well. And okay, Starbucks. Do you like Starbucks?
I like to meet there, and I like their green tea, but I'm not a coffee drinker.
Look at you,
Mhm.
not a coffee drinker. Look how much energy.
I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee. My husband and I
Are
don't
you
drink coffee at all.
serious?
Yeah.
Do you do green tea?
I do chai tea.
Oh,
I love
okay.
chai.
chai tea.
Yeah, and chamomile. I do.
Wow.
I just don't like the taste of it. I don't know.
She's so calm.
Let me ask you a question.
We're like,
You drink beer?
Rod, you and I are like-
I do. Yeah, I love beer, and Guinness is my favorite beer. I know. I don't know why.
You don't like to taste the coffee, but you like.
But I
Guinness?
like Guinness because I don't know. I've always told I always tell people I'm like it's like cake in a cup.
Ooh, it's kind
Yeah.
of
Whoa, Ben likes that.
Ooh, yeah.
Ben,
Well,
you
it has
drink
like
coffee?
a chocolatey
Ben?
kind of.
You drink
thing.
coffee?
No, I don't drink coffee.
You don't drink coffee. Okay.
I like hot chocolate.
You like
I love hot chocolate.
Now, this is really unusual that
Yeah.
there's only one coffee drinker here.
I know.
It's rare.
But here, let me tell you something. I think part of mine, I quit for, how long did I quit for? About a month or so. I did
That's a long time.
I did- well, you go through
coffee
headaches.
world,
you
yeah.
go through headaches, and so finally I was like I
Well, you should have gone on to green tea.
I love iced green tea.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Okay. I get up in the morning and I drink green tea. Like
yesterday.
that.
Well, yesterday I had iced chai tea with a
Mm.
shot of espresso.
A dirty chai.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah.
good.
So I had one actually. I was exhausted and I was about to go to a bachelorette party, so I had to mentally rev up, and so I asked for a dirty chai, and I was just like, I was not a fan. I
Was
gotta
not a
say,
fan.
no.
What if you put like a lot of stevia or sugar in it?
That probably would have worked,
Probably
but
would've
yeah, they were like,
Yeah.
"Oh, you just need an espresso," and I was like, "In chai?"
Well, speaking of Starbucks, they announced a new Frappuccino, the strawberry Frappuccino. It debuted Tuesday nationwide. It's going to be a permanent staple on their menu, just in time for summer.
People will love it.
People will love it.
Yeah.
Remember what was the oh my goodness, was it the Rainbow Unicorn? What was the Frappuccino that just went crazy when they ran out of it? Yes.
Oh my gosh, I
think
have
it was
no
the-
idea. I
don't-
can't
I think
remember.
it was the
Yeah.
Unicorn. It was
Okay.
really special. It had
What was in it?
I don't even know. It was just like multicolored. It was just kind of a, they're brilliant with this stuff because what they do is they'll launch it on like the Instagram or Snapchat and get the kids involved and then get people sharing it, and next thing you know that grows viral.
Yep.
And then next thing you know they sell out.
You want to hear something funny? I went and got a puppuccino for my dogs.
Okay.
You know what those are?
Yeah, well,
Yeah, so they're basically little cups of whipped cream, but it's so funny. And and recently I went this weekend, and my husband was driving, and he's like, "Well, you have to get another drink," and I was like, "No, they just let you get a puppuccino. You don't have to actually order anything." And he was like, "Why? I can't believe this." And I was like, "Do you know how much marketing they're getting by the hashtag puppuccino, the at Starbucks, the at this, all across social media? People are posting pictures of dogs eating out of Starbucks cups, and dogs are very trendy now. I mean, I've had my dogs for a while, but everyone's posting about it on social media. So they're getting all this free marketing. And I was like,
So-
my chai tea purchase is not going to change there.
No.
It's not going to
Someone
change.
very smart
Yes.
thought of that.
Thought of the
Yeah,
puppuccino.
someone
Yep.
really smart thought of
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
I know. So I was like, I don't feel bad, going and getting free puppuccinos because they're free.
Yeah.
And remember,
Yeah.
when
We all
people-
like free.
Yeah,
free's
absolutely.
good. Let's call the F-bomb on this show. We drop F-bombs.
Okay.
It's free.
There you go.
Remember when they would misspell people's names, and that
Yep.
was all a gimmick. That was all so people would say, "I can't believe." They
Was
said,
it?
My name's Brian. They spelled brain. And it was. I've heard that it was literally done so that people would respond to it on social media and
And
say,
just-
"Hey, they
Yeah.
get my name wrong all the time."
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you're constantly in
Well,
the news.
that they think outside the box
Totally.
Mhm.
because
Strategic.
it's people that think outside the box. I admire that so much.
Yeah.
My younger, maybe I shouldn't exactly say every school, but I know someone that has done a lot of testing for executives, and he said that the executives from Stanford and Harvard think outside the box, but a lot of the other executives from other schools think inside the box.
I believe that.
Mm.
Isn't that interesting?
I wonder why those two
Yeah.
schools.
I don't know, but I personally know a lot of people who have gone to Stanford, and I think it's probably one of the best schools in the country.
Oh yeah,
That's what my daughter
Their
wants to go.
experiences are amazing.
I was recruited there
That's
for
what my
soccer.
selection- Oh, you were?
Yeah.
Oh, that was a
And
good soccer.
yeah,
team,
and I
too.
almost committed, but I ended up committing to
Oh.
Lehigh instead. Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, I know. At the time, I wanted to stay closer to home.
Yeah, that's true.
But now that I think about it, I'm like, I should have gone. But I met my husband at Lehigh, so I can't be.
Oh, there you
mad.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until
It was
you-
meant to be.
Yeah,
It was meant to be.
exactly.
Where did you go?
You found
to
love.
school?
Lamar University, right on the coast.
Cool. In
House.
California.
No, here. in
Oh, in
Texas.
here.
Yep.
Oh,
Awesome.
Tennis. That was my
Oh,
deal.
very
Oh,
cool.
you play tennis?
Mm-hmm.
I just started
Mm-hmm.
trying. I'm not good at all, but it's so fun. It's so hard.
I had been playing since I
It's
was
so
about
hard.
6.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
literally.
There's
I
so
grew
much
up-
skill
yep.
involved.
Did you
Yeah.
ever go to Wimbledon or?
I never went to.
Open?
No, I never went to a major. I
Okay.
toured all around the country. Got free rackets, free
That's so
shoes,
cool.
free clothes.
But did you remember
Kicked out of
Wilson and
current
Tokyo?
tournaments
Okay.
for profanity,
Oh
for rackets.
my
I was bad.
So were
I
you
was
singles or
bad.
doubles?
I was mostly singles. I had a
Mhm.
mixed doubles partner from India. She was incredible.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Do you remember what happened in Paris? Was it 1990 when Michael Chang defeated?
Yeah,
who
I
was
was.
it? What was his name?
It wasn't Boris Becker.
It was Ivan. No, wait.
Yvonne.
Yvonne
yeah,
Lind-
Lindell.
Yeah, Lendl. That was a really big story.
That was a big story.
Yeah.
That was
And
a
he
big story.
gave all the credit to Christ.
Oh, yeah.
And Parisians who would never usually talk about Jesus Christ were talking about that
Mm-hmm.
because I was in Paris back then,
Mm.
and it was awesome to hear them talk
Mhm.
about it because their eyes would get big when they brought it up. It really had an impact on people.
It is amazing when speaking of, and I know we got to take a break here in a few minutes, but like my 17-year-old wants to get in ministry, and he's all full on board, wanting to go to seminary and get the whole thing right. And one of his buddies is thinking about going to Canada to start churches up in Canada, and they're kind of based out of, they're from churches that were planted here, and it's interesting because outside the U.S., Europe,
Mhm.
Canada,
Mhm.
there's not as many churches as it is here.
Mhm.
Think about it.
Well, even I'm from up north, and it's not like it is down
Really?
here
Even
either.
up north?
No, I mean there are churches, but not like there are in Texas.
And I will say this came up just the other day, but we're going to a nice topic here. This is being less and less of the Bible Belt, to be honest with you. It's being watered down by a lot of I call it evil forces of the world are just trying to take away as much impact as a church usually has in society. It's being suppressed.
Do you think that happened in the last few years?
I think it's happened over the last 30 years.
Last 30 years.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How can
really
you
do.
see that?
I think it's governmental policy. It's our people in power in positions. It's our laws. We've literally we've literally pushed God out of every part of our lives, but yet we want to call on him to come help us as soon as a crisis comes. And the very people who mock the thoughts and prayers are the ones that need to call them later. And then when Mike Rawlings, the mayor of Dallas, told people to knock off the thought and prayers, that's not, kind of mocked it. It really upset me because I'm thinking to myself, once again, you've got people in the society that turn to Christians and tell them, you know what, we don't have time for you. Like, your prayer's not working.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what we need in this country is more prayer. You can regulate everything in the world, but there's a difference now. Kids don't know good and evil. People don't know right and wrong. There's no respect for human life anymore. There's no more respect for authority anymore. There's no respect for any of the things that you and I grew up on.
Mm-hmm.
Integrity, respect for kindness, loving your neighbor. We grew up on that. Kids now don't grow up on that. There's a couple of factors. It could be their parents, lack of parenting. Could be social media influence.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the desensitization through dark music, dark books, dark movies. I wouldn't say video games because Ben and there will go crazy, but I know you will. But our society kind of celebrates the darkness of in the world, and these kids that don't have any guidance or any kind of measurement stick as far as what's good and what's bad, they get pulled down there, and then a loneliness sets in, and then isolation gets set in, depression gets set in, bullying gets set in, and when they get all of that, that's when you see the things happen in the news. So I don't think. I mean, it's funny because when you look at McKinney's got a $70+ million stadium they just built, the most expensive one in the country, right? And then when I hear school districts talk about they don't have the money to secure schools, and it would cost all this to put a metal detector or do. No, it wouldn't. You have the money. The money's sitting in that football field. It's 100 yards of AstroTurf. Priorities. We have the money. We just don't put the priorities in there. But even if you put all the rules and all the new regulations, it comes down to people's relationship with Christ. And do they have a Christ-centered life? If you have a Christ-centered life, when's the last time you heard a Christ-centered life person go out and shoot up a theater? Never. It's always a loner. It's always a person that was bullied or, he was kind of strange. Because we push those people away in our society instead of getting them and loving on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's all they need.
Yes. I went to the Suicide and Crisis Gala in March, and there was a video, and this guy set out in the morning, and he said, if no one asks me how I'm doing today, I'm going to kill myself. So he was obviously having a very rough day. He just needed someone to care. And so he went through his day. No one asked him. And then he went on a bridge, and he saw a woman, and she was coming up to him. And he said, oh, my gosh, she's going to ask me how I'm doing. Well, she came up to him, and she said, will you take my picture? And so after he took her picture, he threw himself over. And he could have been paralyzed for life. He survived. But he survived, and he now speaks out.
Wow.
I heard about that.
Yes.
I heard about something in relation to Niagara Falls, a story like that. If someone smiles at me or something like that.
Yeah.
A story similar to that. That's
Okay.
I mean, that's
It might have
crazy.
been- it might have
Looking
been
for some
summer.
type of sign. Not,
Yeah.
But he just
Love in
wanted someone
mankind.
to care.
Yeah.
He wanted someone
Yeah.
to say, how are you doing?
Yeah.
And what I so loved about this, and actually I did cover the gala. I didn't do filmed interviews. I just interviewed I interviewed Brian Keevan and Yvonne Crum and some of the fashion stars. And their viewpoints were fascinating. And Brian Keevan was all about, okay, you can make a difference. You can ask one person. You ask that one person how they're doing. And that to me was incredible.
Yeah.
And other people were talking about hope, that we all need hope.
Yeah, we all need hope.
We all need hope.
That's a great line to end this segment on. 4:18 on this Monday. Dora Spectacular and Sarah Spectacular in the studio.
Y'all are so spectacular.
We'll talk more about who you are and what you do and all that good stuff. In a few minutes, when we come back. Listen, 6:20 a.m. KEXP. Your experts in business. All right. Now that I've know what sponsors we have now about getting ready for the bedroom. I know. You like the glasses?
Yeah, man. Are you playing the piano or something?
I feel like I should be playing something in here. Dora Spectacular in the studio. Sarah Strackhouse joining me as well.
Hello.
Okay, let's talk about what you've become so famous here. And you have. I told you. I found you on Instagram. I found you on Instagram, and you become.
So I'm famous because you found me.
I think that what you do.
You found me, and now I'm famous.
I discovered.
Right, there we go.
There you go.
You discovered me.
Well, you're different. You're different. You stood out on my feed. You know
Oh,
that you
okay.
got my attention. Sarah, am I right on that? Is
Oh
that
yeah,
like-
absolutely. You put something else out there that like people are drawn to you.
Right.
You know,
I agree. And I
that really
said,
means a lot.
I
Thank
said this earlier. I think it's going to be far more reaching than just fashion. Fashion is where you start, but you can change lives and you change people's. You can do a lot, I think.
Brian, that is so kind, and that's really what I'd love to do is do more of that. Do more of what you're doing,
Because it's not about,
and you, Sarah, too.
well, it's not about it. Like it's not. It's about the fashion, but it's not about the fashion.
Exactly.
Right? You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Like,
yes. It's about what's inside of us.
It's about what's inside of it.
Yeah, yeah. Because again, that's the treasure. It's a treasure.
And let's talk about, you grew up where?
I grew up. Well, we moved from Pittsburgh to Dallas, and so I grew up here in Dallas. But I've traveled a lot, and I lived abroad for a year in Paris,
Wow.
and that really shaped me because I'm a late bloomer. So living in Paris was probably one of the most.
Let's move your mic up a
impactful
little bit
things.
closer.
Oh. Living in Paris really impacted me too because I was on my own there, and I didn't have a support system. It took a while for me to build that, and that was a long time ago. But that year was very, very formative for me.
What did you want to be when you were a kid? I mean, did you grow up thinking you're going to be, in fashion and all that good stuff?
I did not love fashion when I was younger. I did not really think about it that much. I knew that I would kind of get obsessed with a jacket or a piece of clothing, and I had a friend in college who would instruct me about quality instead of quantity. But fashion, like I said, it didn't become really crucial to me until probably maybe the late 1990s. But I think everybody cares about fashion.
What
Don't
took you over that edge to really caring?
What took me over the edge was when I started putting outfits together and I got feedback from other people.
Mhm.
It started this process in me where I realized that I could literally like change my day by what I put on. And great clothing is like art
Mm-hmm.
to me also.
But we both have the same agreements, though. You're not paying full price.
Yes, yes. It's always a deal.
Okay, can you find
Okay.
a deal like the Nordstrom's rack?
Yeah. Oh, well, I've got to tell you. So, do y'all ever watch The Simpsons?
Of course.
Okay, there's this one episode with Marge, and they never show it. And she gets a $3,000 Chanel suit for like $300. And it's supposed to be really funny. But it wasn't funny to me because I get better deals than that. I was like, and then she ends up cutting it up into all these different pieces to make it, to stretch it out.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
funny.
It's so funny. I love Marge.
Hey,
you know?
let's swing that microphone all
Okay.
the way around.
I-
Like there
I-
you go.
all right.
I
I
keep
love
losing
Marge,
you there
and I always wish they did more episodes featuring her because
with Marge.
yeah. Oh,
So
yeah.
Marge could could have been the next fashion.
Yeah.
Oh, she could have.
Guru.
Oh, yeah, in
Yeah.
her cut up Chanel.
And then, of course, the way
Yes.
we get content has changed so much. Sarah Strackhouse joining us in the studio as well, television journalist, and you've jumped the fence now. Now you're
Yeah.
kind of doing the independent thing, which I think is really cool. Let's take a break because I want to talk about how the whole social media platform has changed
Mhm.
people for what we've done. And even what we're doing right now. I mean, we're on social media. We're broadcasting this over, a whole lot of things going on right now. Anyway, we're talking about that and a whole lot more. Stick around on this Monday edition of In the Know. That's one thing we have not talked about, ladies, is music. Sarah Strackhouse joining me in the studio, and
Yes.
Dora Specht.
Wait, can we do the laugh again?
You're jealous of that.
I'm all about
I'm
that.
kind of jealous. You do it better than me.
I know. I think we make a heck of a team, you and I going.
Oh,
out and
yeah.
doing that
All right.
together.
Well, all right.
I should
I'll
just
take
get a
that.
video of you two
Okay.
doing that back and forth.
Yeah,
You-
I know.
we need to do
really.
that.
Yeah.
Ben, we got to get you in here doing that. You know, You might
It's
like that.
contagious.
It is
It
contagious. Okay, let's talk about social media and just kind of and how it's enabled for individuals like yourself to have a platform and
Mhm.
and kind of get your personality and your cause behind all of the Dora spectacular that what it is.
So people like you can discover me.
Yeah, like so I'm a
Thank
I
you.
can kind of
Yeah.
scroll through and
Yeah.
find you. What has it been like for you on social media? I mean, did you find that you grew your page at the pace you wanted to?
Well, I work more on my Instagram. I mean, actually, that's a lot easier for me to do, and it is growing, and it's just a lot of fun. And Instagram to me is very open.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook, people tend to be more cliquey, I think.
Okay.
It's more about who you know, but on Instagram, it's just really wide open.
I swore up and down I was canceling my Facebook page, and I said, "That's it. I'm done. I'm done." And then a friend of mine said, "Oh, stupid! Look what industry you're in."
Yeah.
And then I was going to launch this new idea I have, and I'll tell you in the breaks. And so I was convinced to leave it open. Now I spend most of my time, 90% of my social media time spent is on Instagram,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe Twitter, and then Facebook.
Yep.
What do you think of Twitter?
A cesspool of rats.
I don't use it ever, honestly. I feel like I probably should, but the only time I ever use it is when I share from Instagram.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you share your Instagram on Twitter.
Yep. Anytime I post there, I share to Facebook, share to Twitter, and then I let it
And
go.
you're done.
I let it go.
Well, it's interesting because Facebook owns Instagram,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Twitter has become kind of it's the news feed, and of course I've had people on this show before, and they've told me like how often you should post on Twitter, and I'll give you a great example. This business owner says that because Twitter is this fast moving news feed, it's just continuous news feed, right? Just imagine stories getting loaded. That he posts about 15 times a day,
Wow.
thinking that at any point, at any moment, one of his customers might log on and get on, and they wouldn't have to scroll very far before they would see something from his company.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Makes total sense.
Mm-hmm.
Instagram, excuse me, is not completely like that, but he does about 4 times a day, no more than 4.
You know why one reason
But
I love
stories is popular. Though.
Yeah,
Stories.
yeah. I love Instagram because of the stories but also because there's only so much writing that people are going to see on Instagram, whether it's, the writing in the video on the actual image or it's the writing underneath. So you have to put the most important facts at the top and on the video. So you're not reading through a lot of, BS to get to a certain, whatever it is you care about. You're hitting the top points right at the beginning. So I love that about Instagram.
Less is more.
Yes.
Always.
Yes. The most important things are coming out. So
Mhm.
that's one thing I like.
Have you found that, and I don't have your Instagram in front of me, have you found that you've been able to grow it to the pace you want it to? I mean, were people liking you that came from the fashion side of everything?
Well, I have all different kinds of followers, but what I really love is I've got some New York designers now, and I can hit them up for clothes.
Nice.
That's
You're
great.
I'm like,
You're
you know,
leveraging
you're
a
following
little
me, so
You have
I-
a lot
I
of
have some clothes.
followers.
Oh, thank
Does
you.
she?
Yeah.
Got my
Yeah,
phone?
$9,000.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And that's relatively, in how long?
Well, that's kind of happened kind of fast. I think maybe a year ago. it
Wow.
started.
I'd say that's pretty good.
That's really good.
Because I
Yeah.
started my effort up really last August. I did a little bit back in 2015, and then I went to New York Fashion Week with Fashion Scoop in 2016. And then I took a break, and then my first interview back was in August with Christos Garkinos. He's from LA, and he was well known for having been on Bravo with Cameron Silver. And we had such a great visit, and it just kind of started everything rolling. And it was so fun because we just clicked, and the person that I'd kind of become, it just was so easy.
How did you come up with that person?
She just evolved, and she's like, I told you that many years ago when I did a little bit of acting. I played a few crazy characters, but now it's like there's this person inside of me, and she's free to come out. So when I play her, it feels good, and it feels really natural, and I just have a blast. And it was funny too, because when I used to style women, I would be very blunt with them, and I might say even, "Oh my gosh, it looks awful on you," and they would just start cracking up. So I realized,
Because they wanted to cry.
they wanted to cry. There were a lot of tears, but whatever.
No.
We'll forget about that.
No, you made a moment kind of fun.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
This is not the best look for you.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it as nicely as you did.
Oh, wow.
I would kind of feel a
Maybe
little
we're
more
being
blunt.
Choose a different outfit.
But anyway, but it was like I could just be this wacky person and say whatever I wanted and people would laugh. And so it's just fun to do that. And so I'm looking forward to my character growing and growing
I
and
think
me
so.
along with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
always have a question that I always love to ask people because you get different answers with every single person. If I knew you better, if Brian knew you better, what would we ask you about yourself?
Good question.
Kind of a
You
weird
probably
one.
I've changed a lot,
Hmm.
and you might ask me why I've changed so much.
So why have you?
Because it's not really been my choice to do all this changing. I feel like the Lord has this plan for me, and I feel like He's been prompting me to grow. And a big part of that is getting rid of my baggage and not believing all the lies maybe that I used to believe about myself, and knowing and just trusting that He made me fearfully and wonderfully. And because I've gone through so much of that, I want other people to see themselves as He sees them also. And that's really probably the foundation of why I'm doing what I'm doing and what I'm doing in my character.
The show could almost just stop right now. You know what I'm saying?
My heart's beating so
No,
fast.
because it's so
Yeah.
true. It's so true, and because that's why you're not just doing this to have some fun. There's a higher meaning behind it.
Yes.
That maybe it's okay that we haven't all figured out what it is. It's okay that you don't know it.
Exactly.
You just know that the path that's going on
Yeah.
is affecting people. It's entertaining them. It's bringing positivity in their lives. That's all good.
Yeah.
That's it. So just keep going.
If I can just change one moment in someone's life, that makes me feel great.
Mhm.
But it was really funny because last Friday I was at a fashion show, and then I noticed on the Poop Talk movie video that a friend who meant well started posting some comments, and it got really negative.
On you about you.
No, not about me,
Oh.
but just about talking about poop.
Oh,
gosh.
Okay.
So
Poop's very important in all
Yeah.
of our lives.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is.
it is.
really
It
is.
Health-wise,
So-
it's a big discussion.
Yeah, exactly.
Do I need to
exactly.
recount what I talked to you about last week? If you remember, and I saw.
Oh, what were you- what did
I
you
was
say?
about going. I don't even want to go there right
Oh,
now.
okay.
But it was about not feeling good. It's about having a stomach ache.
Oh,
There's something
yes.
deeper happening than just stomach ache.
Yeah.
Could be something a little bit more serious. But go ahead. So it's very important to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. Exactly. And it was very freeing to just to talk about it. And so I'm having a blast.
That's awesome.
That's
Yeah.
really cool.
That is really cool. Well, we're glad that you're here, and
Thank
don't
you.
let this
Thank
be the last time that you're here.
Oh my gosh.
You know
I
what I'm
wanna
saying?
come
Like, I
back.
really want you to come back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you're my favorite stalker.
Oh, come on.
I have to come back.
I've been.
That's
so-
a that's a
Sarah,
big
too.
yeah.
Do
That,
we all have a date?
oh
Just don't-
yeah.
oh, So,
All right.
well,
My
maybe
first
that's
time.
maybe we'll end the segment on this. And do you have people message you like creepy guys?
Oh yeah, I've had my share of that.
Really?
Oh yeah, especially on Instagram, a ton of it.
What?
Yeah.
And what do they?
Oh,
ask?
you would not believe.
What do they
and-
ask?
Oh well.
I mean, hey,
I've
you're
gotten
so
some
pretty.
really-
I want to go out with you.
Well, there was one time. So he's totally blocked from my social media, but it was really scary because last year someone called and he was from a radio show in New York and he wanted me to come up, and it was a rock station. So I looked it up and it's really legit. And then he couldn't stop. He kept calling me and calling me. And at one point, I was at an event. I think I got 10 phone calls.
Oh my gosh.
From him.
So and then he sent me pictures on Messenger, and I kind of realized, okay, you know what? I'm not going.
Something is off.
It's a little off here.
He wanted to interview you.
Well, he wanted me to make an appearance, and he was really good looking. So I really was kind of a little taken, and that's the one time that I was like, ooh, wow. He seems really cool because we talked on the phone,
Yeah.
and then he started calling nonstop, and I consider that to be a really good sign not to go.
Yeah.
So anyway, but that's the furthest I've ever gotten with anyone approaching me on social media. But every girl gets
How about
it.
Sarah? How about you?
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's some weirdos.
Yeah, I know that we have a mutual friend, Janelle.
Yep. Yep.
And,
It's very
yeah,
uncomfortable.
I mean, we could be in a meeting and she'll just hand me her phone and go, here,
Mhm.
read this, and I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's like, all the time.
All the time. And sometimes I think, sometimes I literally read it and I'm like, what is going through your head? What could possibly make you think that I would respond positively to this
Right.
message? I mean, they're
But
they're
they're
bizarre
testing you,
sometimes.
But they could be testing you.
Well,
seeing if you-
when I first got into my career, I responded because I thought I was being nice. I thought that's the thing to do, what you're supposed to do. And as it's got, as
You can't.
you just can't,
Because
you
it
can't
sends
engage.
the wrong message to 'em.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Encourage
No.
Yep. And that's what the thing I've learned too, because unfortunately, there's one person who still messages me from 3 years ago. I have not responded. He messages me every single day.
Are you serious?
I have not responded
Can't
in
you block
3
him?
years.
Why don't you block him?
He's blocked from my page, but he sends messages different ways.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's just that, and I used to respond because I felt bad, but you just.
Well, I
Other
don't
ways
get
to
any,
do it.
so it's just.
So, Brian, I was about to
Trust
ask
me, you don't want these messages. Consider
I know,
yourself
Brian,
happy.
you-
Ben,
Like,
you
Yeah.
get any stalkers on social media that send you stuff?
yeah.
Nope.
Nope, we're safe. We're good.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Occasional gay man? No,
Nothing.
nothing. I mean,
But
I'm just a guy.
trust
Oh
me,
my God.
consider yourselves lucky because some of the web messages are weird. I'm sure you know.
Sarah and I will get together. And
Yeah,
send
we'll
some
show you all of the
messages.
creeps.
Yeah, yeah, why don't you create
Yeah,
a
we'll
fake
send you.
profile?
Yes. Oh my
messages.
gosh. Okay,
need
perfect. Dora and I
Yeah,
will
we'll
start
inbox
plotting.
Oh my god!
They'll be
Can't
good.
wait to get IM'd.
They'll be about how spectacular you are.
Oh my goodness, I can't wait. All right, well, give us a break. We'll wrap up this whole conversation here. And if for people who want more information about you, what's the best resource for that?
On Instagram at Dora Spectacular.
There you go. And in Sarah?
Just on Instagram at Sarah Strackhouse, and then on Facebook, Sarah Strackhouse News.
How do you spell? your last name?
Sarah with an H, and then Strackhouse, Strackhouse.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
Coolest last name of.
Yeah.
Very
It's changed
cool.
through Ellis Island. It was Strakowskis originally.
Really?
Is that
Yeah.
Polish?
Lithuanian.
Look at this. This is a
Right?
history
Learn
lesson over
something
here.
new every day.
All right. 4:44. A few minutes. We'll come right back. Sarah Strackhouse joining us in
Yeah.
the studio, and Dora Spectacular.
Hello. Yay!
I think this whole show has really been, yes, you're an amazing person and what you're doing and the whole
Oh,
fashion
thank
thing.
you.
I love it. Like, you get to, let me ask a question. Who's the
incredible.
best dressed male in this town that you've met? Can you give me a few? Maybe not the best, but give me.
Besides
throw out some
you,
names.
right?
Besides me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throw out some
Well, I
names
really
here.
like your T-shirt with the
with the toothpaste.
coloration.
Yeah.
on it.
And
the way
chocolate
that
stain.
the way you adorned your shorts is
Yeah.
really catching my eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I strategically put it in the right place.
So
But
you win
throw
the
us-
prize.
Throw out some names. Like, I could tell you my names.
Okay, you tell me yours.
Steve Kimball.
Oh my gosh, you took
Parts
the words
of
out of
Steve
my
Kimball.
mouth.
Sometimes it's a little
Yeah.
too
Yeah.
to one side, but he has a very kind of rock star type jean boots, jacket, shirt that I like.
Okay, Steve is definitely number one because he's got his aesthetic down. Like he knows style.
Right.
And he knows what's him. And that's like so important because
To
you
know
have to
it.
know what's you. You can pick out the best outfits in the window of Barney's or what in a magazine, but you have to know what is in you. And Steve knows what's in him
Mm-hmm.
because I've talked to him about his style.
Mm-hmm.
So I admire that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that who is really, oh my gosh, I have to think of someone that's lately inspired me. But Ken Weber, who owns the
Mhm.
Vintage Martini,
Mhm.
he's pretty
Mm-hmm.
snappy.
Mhm.
He's pretty dapper. And then the gentleman that designs for Don Morphy, Don Morphy is not his real name, but that's the
Mhm.
designer name. I love his style.
I'll show you a guy when the show is over that I
Okay.
just found yesterday, and I'm like, that guy's got style. And-
Oh, I would love to see it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
and it doesn't take much. It could be the simple, you know what I'm saying? It
Yep.
could just be the combination of your shoes.
The
and your
addition of
jeans.
the extra scarf.
That's it, or maybe a beanie,
Yep.
like in the winter.
So I do want to bring something up
Okay.
that is real important.
Okay.
And if you've noticed that a lot of the big style celebrities, they have a uniform. You know, Karl Lagerfeld has bow tie, and then
Okay.
someone, a
Good
rock
point.
star might
Okay,
have
so
a
they brand
t-shirt.
their okay.
They've got their uniform down, but it's not. It's their uniform. They've put themselves into it. They've defined who they are, and they've made it easy because it's a uniform. And I think the best way to dress really is to find out what you are, and it's not necessarily what anyone else is wearing. You can be different.
I like it.
And then what you do is you build your wardrobe around that. And it's just easy. It's easy.
Yeah.
And that way you're not struggling every day to figure out what to wear.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Because even Zuckerberg was teased for having the hoodie all the time, but that's
Yeah.
who he was.
Yeah.
He was like this tech
Yeah.
guy from
It's
Silicon
his
Valley.
MO.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. He figured out what worked for him and he just bought 100 versions of it.
Yeah.
And the best cashmere ever. Because you can afford it.
Because you can
Yeah.
afford it, right?
It'd be wonderful.
That's a great
Look it
point,
up.
though. Just
Yeah.
find your uniform
Find your uniform
and just stick
and
with it.
stick to that. But the problem is that you're going to have to invest time and thought into your uniform, and that's why my day.
Is it okay if we wear the uniform every day, though?
I think
because-
if you accessorize it differently, you can.
Okay.
I really do.
Because my
Yeah.
uniform, if I wore, and
Yeah.
well, I do kind of wear this every day, but I mean,
Yes.
people be like, "You're always wearing a V-neck T-shirt and jeans." Well, that's
It works
No,
for
I
you.
think that's
But-
great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
That's your
signature
uniform.
look.
okay. That's my
Right.
uniform.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna start coining it. That's my uniform.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Back
yes.
off. That's my uniform.
And I could see you really in a black T-shirt with a little
Black's my
embellish-
favorite color.
with a little embellishment.
I don't know what that is.
Like when you go to lunch and you
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
of course.
Little
right?
dribble.
course.
Salad dressing all over me and everything. Yeah, and that's what
Just
I
you
need.
need to pop a color.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a pop of color. Like
Pop of
be
color.
sure and order the raspberry.
What is your favorite color?
to wear or my
Mhm.
favorite
Just to
color?
wear.
To wear. Well, actually, I have a lot of black, and I'm kind of known for that because black always looks good. And one year, I made this decision. This is years ago that I was going to branch out into color, and I was so excited about it. And then a friend of mine posted this survey on my Facebook wall, and it said that they did all these tests, and they realized that people that wore black were judged and noted as being more intelligent and attractive than people
Really?
that wore color.
So
I was like, oh, so
interesting.
there goes my color. But that's just a joke.
Mhm.
But I love to wear black, and I have started wearing red. I love baby blue. I love pink. What
Periwinkles. Like
How about
that.
your hair?
Flats.
I love your hair. Sarah, don't you
Oh,
like her hair?
I do too.
Where do you
It's
go?
So
Where do you
yeah.
go?
I love
Okay,
it.
so I go to this wonderful girl. Her name is Cynthia Vasquez. She's on my friend list, and my friend list is public. And Cynthia used to be Paul's assistant, Paul Ninus. He passed away about 5 years ago. She was the only assistant that he loved. And not to tell you, Paul was a hair diva. So not very many assistants pleased him.
All the good ones are right.
Yeah, yeah. And when Paul and I were together for those 3.5 years before he passed, I think he went through about 10 to 20 assistants. But Cynthia was the one that stuck, and she is a genius, and she's so sweet. And I actually wanted to let my hair grow out, but it doesn't really suit my character very well. And I'm
Like the
not.
length now.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you. I think we found a good length.
Yeah.
So I heartily recommend Cynthia.
There you go.
She's fabulous. Thank you. And I love your hair. What do you
There's
do?
a
Yeah.
story behind my.
Yeah.
If I wasn't
What?
doing this, I'd probably would be a hairdresser. I'd be a
Really?
stylist.
Really?
Oh my
Right.
gosh.
Because I remember. I know that we're running out of time, and I don't.
Okay.
But I remember 1996. I was at work. A girl, Wendy Wetzel, I know her name,
Okay.
hot blonde in the office, right?
All right. Woo.
Came to me and said, "Hey, I had longer blonde hair, like like a
Wow.
Spicoli."
Did you wear it in a
she's-
ponytail?
Yes, I did. A little bit of everything.
Man bun.
Yes. Yeah.
Love
Man
it.
buns weren't even in. I was wearing,
Ah.
right?
That's
And
so
she just
sexy.
and she picked me up
Trendsetter,
and she
yeah.
goes,
Trend-
let's go out for lunch. And she actually took me to the Hamptons hair salon in the Back Bay, Newport Beach. I got my hair cut $65 later. I was like,
Wow.
this is where I want to work because everyone here is hot. And I just $65
Good-looking
and
group
it's
of
like,
people.
but I never went that route. But I'm a hair guy. Like I it's very much defined my career in television. I've walked away from opportunities where people wanted to change the style. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
not
You
happening.
knew it wasn't right for you.
No, not for me.
Right.
I always
Yeah.
had to change
Yeah.
my hair for jobs.
Always had to, right?
Yep.
Why?
Isn't that a
Like-
bunch of crap?
Yeah. One of my first
Like news directors,
on
they
air.
just-
Yeah. He wanted it shorter and darker, so I got it up to here and darker. One of my next ones wanted it longer and blonder, so I
Isn't that
got extensions
crazy?
and it got and
See the things that
Yeah.
news people go
Yeah.
through.
yeah.
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 Now you can have it whichever way you want.
Now
I
my
know.
boss is incredible and
Yeah.
he's wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's
So what
great.
is it when you do get a mohawk?
Right? I know. Now I need to think of something
I know he
crazy.
wants to
Shaved
be-
sides. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Bleach blonde.
Right.
Bleach blonde. Well, it's
No, I love your hair.
Well, thank you very much.
I really love it. It's very much you.
I
and
hope it keeps me
so
young
cool.
because I feel like
Yeah.
I'm getting old. It keeps me youthful.
No.
Okay, we've got about 30 seconds left.
Okay.
Best place for resource for people to get more information on you.
Again, I love at Dora Spectacular. I love Instagram at Dora Spectacular. Thank you.
While you're
Thank
there.
you so much.
Great.
Yes,
Sarah
thank
Stracker.
you.
You got to come back in here again.
Yeah, I'd love to.
great,
This is
isn't
so
it fun?
fun. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is
It's been
so
a
cool.
blast.
Yeah.
Awesome. And as always, you can contact us on 620amkexp.com. You can find out more about this show and other shows as Fine Salem Radio Network. Until next time, see ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.